Hey everyone, it's Ken from AnyMonkey, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to get aerial photographs onto your projects. Okay, this is quite intimidating to some people that have never really done this before, but it's quite simple to people that have. Most people think about sites like Google Earth and Bing when they're talking about going and getting their own photographs. If you have a pictometry account, then obviously you can go ahead and use their photos, but the costs of that account are usually quite high, and so we're always trying to find ways that we can do the exact same thing, get as best quality photos that we can without having to pay for it. On our website now, if you haven't been here recently, we have added a new area called Photo Maps, and we are going to be updating this extensively over the next couple of weeks. Basically, we're going to try and find as many areas that we can and list their municipal sites. So, as you can see, I'm from British Columbia, and these are all the sites that I use right here. And just to give you an example of one, I'm going to click on Surrey Cosmos here and show you how good the quality is to some of these sites. Not all of them are created equal, but some of them are really quite good. So when I click here, I'm going to show you that it brings me down to the last place that I searched, and as you can tell, this is a pretty fantastic photograph for being able to do a roof drawing. And I can zoom out of here and I can show you that anywhere in that neighborhood, the photographs are pretty much unbelievable and as good as any you're going to get from any pay site or anything like that. So these are as good a quality as you would get on, say, a site like Pictometry or something. So sometimes the hardest part of finding, of getting the picture loaded, is finding the actual site. So I'm going to go and show you how I would go about finding aerial photographs for a specific location. Now, I have never ever looked for a aerial photograph in Portland, Oregon. So I have no idea if they even have a site, but what we're going to do is we're going to go and look. So I'm going to go to my search engine and I'm going to type in something like Portland, Oregon, GIS. Geographical Information System. That's what basically the maps are called. So I'm going to do a search. Oh, and I spelled Oregon wrong. I'm sorry. I'm going to do a search here. And I'm going to look and see what comes up. And actually the very first thing is quite interesting. Enterprise GIS Hub, the City of Portland, Oregon. And I'm going to click here because this is the first one and it seems like it's got a lot to do with what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click here. And I'm going to see if there's any way, if there's anything here I can use. Portland Maps was developed. I'm going to try clicking on this one here now. And you can see actually that there is a map viewer here. And I'm going to go search. Oh, I'm at a Haupt site where I am right now, so it's not actually the thing. What I want to do is try and actually find the map itself. So that wasn't very helpful to me. I should have come down, and if I would have read just a little bit farther, I would have seen City of Portland GIS, and this is probably the one that I want to click on here. And this is great. So we want to look at the parcel viewer because the parcel is the land. That's tied to the address. So if we click on parcel viewer, and again, everyone is different, so you just kind of have to get used to using them. But as you can see, you get down to Portland here real quickly. Now, if you click on aerial, it will bring up the aerial photographs, and sometimes it's not as easy as that. You have to look. Sometimes they list themselves as what's called ortho photos. So you'll see another menu, and it'll say layers, and then there'll be something in that list that'll say ortho photos 2012 or ortho photos 2013. and that's what you'll be looking for. So basically in this one, we're lucky enough for us, we could click aerial. Now let's go down and check and see how good the aerials are. As you can see, the thing will refresh. One limit sometimes that they have on these sites is that they don't allow you the ability to zoom in as far as you'd like many times. I don't know how far this site's going to let us go, but this is it right here. That's the limit that it's going to let us go in. Sometimes if you look around the perimeter of the site itself, there'll be a box where you can actually enter in your own scale and you can zoom in closer, but this one doesn't. It's at the maximum right now, and here we are. There are some tricks to getting these photographs to be a little bit more usable for you, and the first one is to go up into your tools and zoom and change your zoom to something more like 200%, and it doesn't always work, and in this case it didn't. This site is blocking these types of tools, so we're going to have to try and do this a different way. So first thing we're going to do is find a house that interests us here, and I like this one right here. Sometimes there's a draw tool and a measure tool, which you can actually use to measure a distance if you want to get a rough idea how long an area is. So you can click there to start drawing, and if you wanted to click to here, you'll double click and end it. And oops, I should have shown measurements on there, and I should have said in feet. Again, each one of these sites is different, so you have to kind of learn how to use their tools. And I'm going to clear my drawing, and we're going to start again. I'm going to click on the line tool, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go double click right here, and it's going to tell me that that particular length is approximately 55.5 feet, 55.35 feet. So you can get a rough measurement similar like you can on Google if you do that, okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you two different ways of getting this photograph so that you can use it for the application. In Windows 7, there's a tool called the snipping tool, and this is the best thing they ever designed. Unfortunately, Windows 8 has now come out, and I've never used it, so I know that it's different, and I don't know that they have anything like the snipping tool. You'll have to look into that yourself if you use Windows 8. But I'm going to show you what it is. I actually have the tool down here that I've saved on my status bar down at the bottom here because I use it all the time, but I'm going to show you where it is. If you click on All Programs and you go into Accessories, you'll find that the snip tool is there. It's not with mine because I've actually taken it out and putting it over here. So the snip tool, what you do is you click on it, and the snipping tool box opens up, and your screen will go gray. What you do is you highlight the area that you want, and in this case I want this photograph right here, and that turns it into an instant picture for you, which you can go File, Save As, and then you can name it something and save it to your desk, like wherever you want. I'm going to save it to my desktop as Capture. I've already got one called Capture there, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to minimize a whole bunch of things here, and you can see that my picture is right here, and if I click on it, my photo's there. But you can see that the photo is quite small in size here. So you might want to do something like go into Microsoft Paint and resize it just to make it a little bit bigger. So if I wanted to do that, I would right click on the photo, say Open with, Paint, and then I'm going to click on Resize. And it's better to do resizing in smaller increments, but I'm just going to show you. If you can do resizing by percentages and by pixels. So in this case, I'm going to do it to 200% to make it twice the size that it is right now. And as you can see, it blows it up, and it's not too bad. I've been told that if you do the resizing in smaller increments, like 10% at a time, then it'll be a less distorted image. But this is quite good. You could easily do your drawing from this image here without any trouble at all. Then obviously I would save that, and I would load this photo into the application. A lot of times also on these websites, there's a way to turn off the addresses and things like that, and that's usually done in what's called layers. So I'm going to look here and see if there's any layers that I can turn off and on. I'm going to click on Legend just to see what that does for us, and it doesn't really tell us an awful lot. Sometimes these applications also are a little bit glitchy this way, so I was hoping I could turn off the addresses just so I could get rid of these numbers and things that are going to obscure our view when we're trying to, but it doesn't look like the app, this application is going to let us do that, so we're going to be stuck with what we have. At least with the city site, it verifies for you exactly what address that is. So in Google, sometimes if you do a search, you might get an X that's right here and you're not sure, is it this house, is it this house, and sometimes it's actually this house over here that the address is actually going to. So the good thing about the city sites is they're generally perfectly accurate as to what address you're actually looking at. You can also change the different views in your things here. I'm just going to look here. See more, if I undo parcels, yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. And again, like I told you, everything is different on whatever site you go to, but I clicked on more, I unchecked parcels, and all of the measurements went away. So now if I wanted to save that photograph, I'm going to click New, and I'm going to do it again, and now I can save that photograph and I don't have all those measurements there. Now, if you don't have Windows 7 and you're using an older version, what I'm going to tell you is similar to going into the Paint and enlarging, but instead of doing that this time, what I'm going to do is do what's called print screen. On your keyboard, usually just above the insert button on your keyboard, there's a button that says print screen. If I press print screen, it basically saves a snapshot of my desktop. Then I can go and I can open Paint, going into Accessories, and open Paint. And if I press on the Control V buttons, it will paste a snapshot of my desktop into Paint. Then I can click on the crop button right here, and I can highlight the area that I want, and I can click crop again, and it creates an image from that, which I can save, enlarge, resize to 200%, just like before. Say OK, and there's my drawing, and I can save that as the file that I want to use for the app. And then obviously from there, you would go into the your admin panel and create a project and load the file from there. So basically, that's the tricks on how to find the photos. Like I said, everything's different, so there's a lot of trial and error that goes into this, and obviously once you find a place, like this one here, I'm going to actually save this one now, and I'm going to go and add it after I'm done my tutorial here. I'm going to go and add this to my list, but you can obviously save that as a favorite, and then you don't have to go looking for that again next time you want to find something in the Portland area. So I hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please send me an email at ken@anymonkey.ca, and I'll be glad to help you out. Also, if you have any site requests that you can't find on your own, you can also send me a request for that area, and I'll see what I can do to try to find that for you. Thanks very much, and have a great day.